Yo, it's your boy DJ Thrax, and I am joined tonight by my friend Garrett Zagri and my brother Eric Dr. Soybean.
Thanks, or as I like to call the two of you, the Luna and Artemis to my Usagi.
All right. So
It's got that one.
I have an air horn now. I'm not gonna use it much, but there you go. I think it's hilarious. Anyways, we're back. We took a brief break. We went on vacation to the beautiful city of Toronto. But we're back.
Toronto was nice. It's a beautiful city full of wonderful public transportation. America, take notice.
Yep. We're back to podcast. It's the Neon Nightcast podcast, a podcast about anything pop culture, blah 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 blah. I'm stumbling. Uh, Tonight's topic is Dragon Ball Z, or if you're from Canada, Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z. Like
I can't
we're
talk
American.
tonight. It's already off to a bumpy start. Dragon Ball Z is a anime that started in the 80s.
The manga came out in 1984. The series followed in 1986 with Dragon Ball, which ended in 89. DBZ was 89 through 95, followed by GT 96 to 97.
All right.
And then there was a massive. Then there was a massive hiatus leading to DB Super, which was just last year.
Well,
We should state that Dragon Ball didn't come to like North America on mainstream channels until like 96.
something
Right.
like that.
Something like that.
Regardless.
So when GT was pretty much ending in Japan, we finally got Z.
Regardless, tonight's episode is about Z. We are going to have a separate episode on a later date to the other series in the show, but DBZ is the main one. It can have its own episode. That's
Yeah,
I think it's the one
I think
that
it's the most popular. Everyone like if
Yeah.
you talk about Dragon Ball, everyone thinks of Dragon Ball Z.
yeah. I think
Yeah,
Dragon Ball Z is just like the ultimate bro anime. Like it's like wrestling. It's just like dudes fighting, like ripped dudes fighting.
That's like all the animes though. Like all
No,
the animes
but like so
just
like
have
other
fucking dudes
animes,
fighting.
they have like the pretty boy character and like I don't know, like they have
Vegeta's
females
the
that
pretty boy
actually fight
character.
in other shows and
females.
like women,
Oh,
females.
Yeah, because
oh,
the only
females.
female
Okay.
fighter is what Android 18,
Yeah, and she's like not
and
even relevant.
Videl a tiny bit.
So I'm just saying, like
Well,
Dragon Ball Z is
it's
just
the one
ripped
anime
dudes
that
fighting.
it's the one anime that before anime was I don't know. I don't really want to say anime is cool now, but it's definitely more accepted now than it was at least when I was in high school. But back then, it was the one anime where you wouldn't get shit for liking it.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
everyone
like
likes
it
Dragon
could
Ball
be
Z.
because people didn't know the word anime, it could be classified as cartoon, and that's why people would watch it, I guess, because they thought it was a cartoon when it's really an anime.
Not even so much that, just it was kind of the one that was seen as, you know,
Culturally acceptable.
yeah,
Well, like before that, it was like Sailor Moon, Hamtaro, Cardcaptor Sakura. You had a couple of like Gundam Wing, uh, and that one was kind of like it's Gundam Wing is very slow paced comparatively. So like Dragon Ball Z was the first anime I remember being out that was like just action.
Just straight up. I mean, there are plenty of filler episodes in the show
yeah,
too,
I
where they
just
which
just
we'll
really,
definitely get
literally
into.
talk.
I just really think that Dragon Ball Z is just it's like a boys club, like, and that's just was like the main appeal as us all being growing up males and all our friends being majority males, right? Like it's just Dragon Ball Z. Like I have like Jen, she hasn't seen it and she doesn't want to see it because she's just like, oh, it doesn't interest me, and it's like I just think it's it just doesn't appeal to women. I think as much. Not to
Well,
like get too.
I don't think that's totally true. I dated a girl for a couple of years who was really, really into it. She even had a tattoo of the four-star Dragon Ball. So, but
Sure.
as a generalization, yeah, I'd say you're probably correct.
How do you decide what number Dragon Ball you get a tattoo of?
Well, because that one, the four-star is the significant one because it's the one that Goku for a long time believed contained his grandfather's spirit.
I see.
Yeah,
Well,
that's like the only one that has any sentimental value or anything.
I guess that's what I get for not watching Dragon Ball.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z.
All
So
right.
So,
within Dragon Ball Z, there are four story arcs. There's the Saiyan Saga, the Frieza Saga, the Cell Saga, and the Buu Saga. Uh, which one of those four is your favorite saga, and why? Starting with Garrett.
Um, Honestly, I don't know. I think it would be the Cell Saga because Gohan plays a super important role in that. And then right afterwards, whenever Trunks comes back from that alternate reality, it's like Gohan is the last super powerful Saiyan, and he's trying to fight off the androids and ends up dying. And Gohan was my favorite character. So that just it fucking tore me down to watch Gohan just get the shit beat out of him by these androids
Yeah,
because Gohan was so fucking badass. And then, Trunks is just sitting there watching, can't help, just feel bad for Trunks.
baby future
So I would,
Trunks.
yeah. But then, current reality Gohan gets to take out Cell with Goku's spirit presence. I guess I don't know. But yeah, so probably definitely Cell Saga.
Cell Saga is good. Eric.
uh, if I had to choose, mm, I guess I would probably have to go with the Saiyan saga. Simply because one of the things I didn't like about later DBZ is how anybody who wasn't a Saiyan became irrelevant, and it all just became about what's the next Saiyan transformation going to be. So I liked the Saiyan saga because the human characters in Piccolo were still at least somewhat relevant. I also really like the whole, if you count it as one big fight, the fight of Goku, Gohan, Piccolo, Krillin, Tien, Chaozu, Yamcha, and Yajirobe versus Vegeta, Nappa, and the Cybermen is probably one of the longest and most intense fights ever in all of the series. So,
Yeah,
I
like
think that's hilarious because they fucking lost to Cyberman.
oh
It's
yeah,
only
like
Yamcha did,
yeah.
but
Only Yamcha. Tien fucks
yeah,
them up.
that's true. But fucking
yeah,
Yamcha, man, he's a piece of shit. I hate Yamcha because I
No
feel
one
like
likes
Yamcha's this
Yamcha.
hothead. Yeah, yeah. He's like this hothead that thinks he's the greatest or whatever.
well,
It's
I mean,
just
I agree with you in a sense, but to, to give like in all fairness, he did beat the shit out of that Cyberman. It basically then he was then cocky enough to turn his back on it while it was lying down, and then it jumped on him and exploded.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
he did
yeah.
kind of
That's
win. He did kick its ass, and then it just cheaped out on him.
like yeah, the Cybermen. Yeah, like they weren't really a threat. Like I think maybe they could beat Chaozu, but like really, like all of them could have taken any of the Cybermen on.
all
Yeah.
right. Y'all
So
have good
Mike,
points, but I still hate
Honestly,
Yamcha.
I'm in the same boat, man. The Saiyan saga just there's so much more to it, man. Like Yamcha dying, you have Tien losing his arm and then dying. You have Chaozu sacrificing himself, and then you just have like this like Piccolo, Krillin, and Gohan just being like mostly Piccolo just being like, what the fuck, man? Like I'm fucked. I got this bald guy and this kid with me. Like we're done. Um, and there's just so many stages to that fight. I also really like the Frieza saga up until they start fighting Frieza. I uh, like the desperation of Vegeta as he's like flying around trying to like get the Dragon Balls and like steal them. Goku comes and he beats up the Ginyu Force, and then like Vegeta like stomps on that purple guy's neck.
Birder. Yeah,
Yeah,
blue guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then up to the Frieza fight, it's okay, right? Like when it's the three of them versus Frieza. I think I just like the fights where it's like multiple people versus one person, because when it's one on one, there's a lot of like talking and shit.
I would agree with you there. I think in general, I prefer the clusterfuck fights as well to
Yeah.
the one-on-ones in general.
Yeah, I want to go back on something you said about Vegeta. How like whenever he's faced with someone he knows is stronger than him and like all hope is lost, he always acts the same fucking way. He just gets frantic and just like it's like he's losing his mind.
Yeah.
Like every fucking time it happens, he just like becomes this fucking bitch kind of. Like,
Yeah.
and I love Vegeta. Vegeta's like on the top of my favorite
Well,
characters.
if you look at
But
if you look
uh,
at like Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan being like the three main characters, they're all like so completely different. Um, Go
yeah, Goku's this like fucking meathead that just wants to fight. Like all he lives for is to fight. He doesn't give shit
Yeah,
about
But
anything
he's
else. Like
also like he's the hero. He's the Rock. He's like he
that's
saves
that's
the day.
actually that's actually why when Vegeta finally acknowledges that Goku's a better fighter than him, he says it's because Goku fights not for pride and not even to save the world. At the end of it, he fights for simple enjoyment.
Yeah. Where Vegeta
yeah,
is like this guy who's a little bit weaker than Goku, but that's what drives him, and he like
but I
has to
think
be the best.
Vegeta's like more. I I don't know. Vegeta's obviously smarter, so you would say he would win in like a tactical fight. But what is a tactical fight? Whenever you just like in fisticuffs, you know?
Yeah. And then you have Gohan who like doesn't want to fight, but at points can be like stronger than the two of them. But because he's not a fighter at heart, he's just not the best fighter.
Well, that brings up you brought up Gohan, and I have to give Toriyama, the creator, of course, of DBZ, some shit here because he created a concept early on where they hinted at the fact that because Gohan was half human and half Saiyan, that for some reason gave him massive rage boosts. When he would get really angry, his power would massively increase. And then he just kind of either forgot about it or wrote it out because it kind of just stopped happening.
Well, whenever Gohan gets his potential unlocked by the Kais, I mean, like that's his potential. That's as strong as he will ever be. So like even like raging will not boost his power.
Yeah, he's at like a
I guess,
perfect rage kind of thing
but
with
then
like the Berserker and D&D or whatever.
But then why don't Goten and Trunks ever be shown to get rage boosts? They're half Saiyans, half humans as well.
I
So
think it's just because they're too young most of the time. Like I
Well,
feel like Goten and Trunks are like 8 or 9 throughout DBZ
well,
whenever they
yeah, but
Gohan
show
dude,
up, and
Gohan
Gohan's like
was
12 or
five.
13.
No,
see
he was
the way I,
five when he was getting his rage
Well, I
boosts.
guess yeah, I was thinking more Cell Saga, but yeah, he was. I mean, I don't know. I think it's because Trunks and Goten they don't have that pressure that Gohan had all the time. Like,
yeah.
there's always someone there that's stronger than Goten and Trunks. Like Gohan, they were like whenever Raditz was fucking them up, and he was locked in that little Saiyan pod or whatever. Like,
Mm.
there was no one. There was no one else.
Yeah,
There was
throughout
no one left.
throughout the series as Gohan is a child, Goku is always like, "Oh, well, Gohan will just beat him. Gohan can do it." And he just lets Gohan get the kick shit out of him. I also
The
think
shit
it's like
kicked
a
out of him.
I also think it's like a personality thing where like Gohan isn't a fighter, but when he's pushed, he got really angry. As he grows older, he gets more. Okay, I have to fight. I'm not gonna get that more angry, right? He loses it. Where Goten and Trunks, they're like, yeah, they're just like these fun-loving kids, so they don't really get angry.
Yeah, they've
Like
never
they
had the
turn
pressure of
into
having to save the world on
yeah,
them.
they turn into Gotenks and they're Super Saiyan 3, and all they do is make jokes and they're like goofy and shit. They're not like Gohan.
Yeah, they're not serious at all ever.
So I think, yeah, I think that rage thing was just a Gohan thing.
Mm.
And I think, you know what? I think that kind of comes into play with like Gohan being able to become Mystic. Like maybe like that Mystic was what, like that's what was inside of him. That's what they unlocked, was like that rage potential.
And I don't think the rage potential is gone from Trunks because even in the like the alternate reality timeline backwards, I think Trunks like because he was severely underpowered by the androids, and then whenever he's like saw Gohan getting the shit kicked out of him, I think he did get that rage boost and he was able to go in there and save Gohan a couple times
Yeah.
because like there was no way he would be able to do that otherwise. I think he did get that rage boost, but
Interesting.
yeah, my thoughts on it.
Gohan, I don't know. Like I used to really really like Goku, but now I'm like I really like Vegeta and Gohan now. Like I like them all like
Well,
equally.
let's move it on to the topic then of who's your single favorite hero.
Hero. Okay. Gary, you start.
You want me to start? All right.
You always
So
start.
I feel the same way. Like Vegeta and Gohan have always been at the top. Whenever it was the Saiyan saga, Vegeta was my favorite. He was the fucking villain. He was still my favorite because like he's this royalty. He's this prince. He's got all this pride. Like he's got the weight of a dead race on his
Yeah.
shoulders. Like he's the only one that knows the true Saiyan culture because Goku didn't grow up with it. Like, and they're the only two Saiyans left. He's the only one that knows what it's like to be an actual Saiyan. And I don't know, I feel like that weighs on him sometimes. Like whenever Frieza blows up the planet and shit, it's just I don't know. I feel for Vegeta, so that's why he's my number two. But I Gohan's my favorite. I already said that,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's just because like Gohan had a fucking rough life.
Yeah.
Like just watching his dad get the just get fucked.
Yeah, he
Like
watched his dad
on
get
it.
murdered, and then the thing
Yeah,
that technically murdered him is like, okay, I'm gonna raise you and beat the shit out of you now.
yeah. I mean, it's weird though that he does have that relationship with Piccolo because I almost want to say like Piccolo is more of a father figure than Goku is
Yeah, Gohan fucking loves
Yeah.
Piccolo, and Piccolo loves
because
Gohan.
and yeah even in the Saiyan saga like I like Piccolo more than I like Goku because I don't know I don't like fucking dumb idiots and Goku I'm sorry is a fucking dumb
I
idiot.
think I think with Goku, just a little side note here is that a lot of anime they make the main character like kind of like the least interesting character, or maybe it's because you see the most of them, they seem the least interesting. Where the side characters you don't get to see them as much, so they just
So
like
there's more mystery.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
see what you're saying there.
I would maybe even go so far as to apply that to media in general. Is that often the side characters
Yeah.
can be more interesting than the main
And I think
character.
that's why most of the time villains are more interesting because it's like they're supposed to be mysterious.
No, the main character cannot be unlikable. That's a big no-no. But
Yeah.
he or she is often not the most interesting.
Yeah.
I'd agree with that.
Anyways, what's your favorite character?
Well, I like a lot of the characters. Well, since Garrett gave two, I'll give two. Because I like them both for similar reasons. My favorites are probably Piccolo and Tien. Uh, they both had arcs similar to Vegeta. They both started out as villains and then became good, which is a relatively common theme throughout all of the Dragon Ball series. Uh, and I think I like them both. They're both kind of stoic people, kind of mysterious in a way. They often don't show a lot of emotion. They just they're there to fight. And another thing I really like about the two of them is they have some of the most unique move sets of any of the characters in the series.
Yeah.
Piccolo's got his Namek physiology where he can, extend his limbs. He was one of the first people to do energy shots out of the mouth. He's got the special beam cannon, which is pretty unique. Tien, less so in DBZ, more so in Dragon Ball, but he has a lot of insane techniques. He invented the solar flare. He invented the multi-form technique. In Dragon Ball, he used a technique where he could grow an extra set of arms to be more efficient at sparring. Uh, so yeah, those are my two favorites, Piccolo and
Um,
Tien.
before we move on to you, Mike, Eric brought up this great topic. I think we should just take a little vacation on. What's your favorite like special moves of the
Ah,
characters?
Mm,
Because mine, I've always loved Krillin's Destructo Disc. The only thing I have against it is that it's on such a weak character.
yeah.
Like I loved his Destructo Disc, and then also Frieza's like little just death beam where he just points out of his finger and
the one
just
finger thing.
yeah
Yeah,
just kills people. Like it's like what the fuck? Who is this guy? But anyway, those are my two.
I think my favorite like special ability was the Kaioken. I don't know why. I just like that idea of it's not like it's going Super Saiyan. You're just like I don't know what are they doing? They're like putting their body to like the max limit kind of thing.
Yeah, they're just putting their body under like extreme stress and multiplying their
Muscle
abilities.
mass or whatever.
I don't think
I'd
it's is it muscle mass that they're
I
I
don't
don't
know
know.
what it is.
no, it's more like what you said, like just pushing their body to
Yeah.
the possible limit in a temporary burst. Um, I'd have to go with Kiko Ho for the simple fact that he sacrifices some of his own life force to make the attack more powerful. And it probably allows for the greatest disparity between the power of the attacker and the power of the person receiving it. Because you look at Cell Saga Tien, who's nowhere even close to the Super Saiyans, and he uses that technique to hold back semi-perfect Cell, who's at that point superior to the Super Saiyans. So that's pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Michael.
So my
Favorite hero.
favorite hero. Uh, like I'm a big fan of Goku, but I really like Tien as well for basically the same reasons as Eric. But the combination, the fusion character of Gogeta, the fusion dance, not the earring one. I
Mm-hmm.
really just like that one. I don't know why. Like the Janimba movie, I fucking love that. I liked how he was more physical and more. I don't know, like if you compare, I watched a video once of like people comparing them, and like
Vegito and Gogeta, you mean?
yeah, and Vegito is more like energy and whatever, where Gogeta is more like physical. I think like Vegito overall is stronger, but I just really like Gogeta. I don't know why, just the look of him.
It is interesting that the two types of fusion resulted in two somewhat different characters. The fan theory is that Vegeta's personality is slightly dominant, and in Gogeta, Goku's personality is slightly dominant, and
Which
that
it
leads,
shows.
Yeah, because I think
yeah,
Vegeta's a more energy character than
physical.
Goku.
Yeah. Yeah, Vegeta likes to just fucking blast away.
Yeah, fucking Gallic Gun and Big Bang. Oh, I
Yeah.
love Big Bang too. Big Bang, another
Big
great
Bang is awesome.
special ability.
Vegito does have that cool attack though, where he makes that kind of makes like a blade around his hand
Oh
with
yeah, that
energy.
is pretty
Oh,
badass too.
Gogeta though has the ability that if there's any evil within their heart, they instantly die.
how did how do they live through that? I would think that Vegeta would
They
have
do
some
that. That's how
evil.
they kill Janimba.
That's funny.
I also really liked in that one movie with the androids when Goku does the spirit bomb and then he goes Super Saiyan and absorbs the spirit bomb.
Yeah, that was cool because they always established that I forget why, but you couldn't make the spirit bomb while you were a Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
So he makes it, goes Super Saiyan, and absorbs it into himself.
And then the android punches him, and his like fist like deteriorates, and it's
Yeah,
just
because
so badass. He's just so powerful at that moment.
yeah, the movies really had a. Well, should we talk about the movies?
If we have time, we'll get
Let's.
into it. Let's move on
Yeah.
to our favorite villain of the DBZ series.
This one's so hard for me. Um, since Cell Saga is my favorite, I want to say that Android 18, not yet 18, 17 is my favorite villain, but also 16 because I just felt bad for 16. Honestly, 16 like I don't even remember his backstory. All I remember is that he was fucking green and had a mohawk,
He
a
was like a
red
gentle
mohawk.
giant.
Yeah, exactly. And I just felt bad for him. I don't know because yeah, his personality wasn't like evil. It's just that he was being controlled, I guess.
Yeah.
But 17 I think would be my favorite just because he was a fucking badass, man. Like him and 18 both like they were just fucking strong as fuck.
Yeah.
And yeah, like it took fucking Cell to absorb them to take them out. And
Basically,
in
yeah.
and then in the alternate reality, how do they get rid of them in the alternate reality? I don't even remember.
Trunks goes back and wipes them out.
Yeah, Future
All right.
Trunks as the. Oh, I also really like Future Trunks.
Oh yeah, Future Trunks is great too.
He's one of my
I I,
favorites.
I think
I
just
like a
because
lot of the characters. I really can't tell you my favorite.
I mean
Anyways,
I like a lot of people associated with the Gohan line, excluding Goku, like Gohan, Piccolo, Trunks, Future
yeah.
Trunks anyway. But yeah, so Android 17, he also has that one ability that's just like Android bubble or something. Android where it basically just like reflects energy. Can't remember what it's called, but that also just has an aesthetically pleasing look whenever it's used.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, he was just super fucking strong. He had a cool outfit.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
had that
Android
sweet
17.
bandana.
Yeah.
So what was your favorite villain, Eric?
Well, in the whole DB universe, I like Demon King Piccolo, Piccolo's father, the best. But if we're talking strictly DBZ, even though I didn't like this saga that much, my favorite might actually be Boo. Simply because he had so many different forms, and each form had such a radically different personality, which I thought was cool, depending on who was absorbed or who wasn't absorbed.
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever he absorbed like Mystic Gohan, I lost all hope for the series. I thought the series was actually going to end there because no one could beat him.
Right?
And then
Yeah, because you
Like
think Boo was
Super Saiyan
already
3 Goku already
ridiculously
lost,
strong.
and
Yeah.
then
yeah, and like
Mystic
Mystic
Gohan
Gohan,
lost.
like he didn't lose, did he? Like I think they were even. I thought, and then like he just
He
turned him into
Well, he
candy.
lost because he got absorbed.
well,
Yeah,
he was clearly superior to Boo at that point, but then you just think like his power combined with Boo's power, how could
Yeah.
anything stop that?
yeah.
Yeah.
So then what happens? They send people in. Was it Goku that they send inside of Boo to like?
No, that was what led to the necessity of Vegito,
Yeah.
because that was the only thing that
Okay.
could possibly compare to that. And they had Goku. He didn't want to use the earring with Gohan because it was supposed to be permanent. So it was like, do I really want to be permanently combined with my son? That's fucking weird. So then he was like, so then Tien showed up and he was like, okay, I'll do it with Tien. Then Tien got taken out, so he was considering doing it with either Dende or Mr. Satan, aka Hercule. But then Vegeta was just like, okay, fine, I'll do it. And then
Okay.
that led to Vegito.
Like
I
it's
feel
like
like
how much
Mr. Hercule wouldn't have
stronger.
done anything.
Yeah, like how much stronger. Even with Tien, it was like that's not gonna like push you
Well,
over.
Supposedly, though, the earring fusion is incredibly stronger than the dance fusion, and that's why, like, I mean, think about it. You had, as we said, Super Boo, how strong he was, combined with Mr. Gohan, and Vegito was able to like treat him like a fucking rag doll.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, if he would have done it with Tien, he still would have been very fucking strong.
Yeah.
Strong enough to beat him, I don't know, but it would have been a massive boost because of the nature of that type of fusion.
So my favorite villain. I also have another question, but my favorite villain, um, honestly, like I think I want to say Vegeta because of the Majin Vegeta fight and just like the Vegeta fight, like in the Saiyan saga and then the Buu saga.
Yeah,
Um, I really like that fight between Goku and Majin Vegeta. And it's just like as villains go, like Frieza is just like, oh, he's the big boss of like this space
He's
pirate
the
gang.
most evil person. Like Frieza is like the most evil person you could ever get.
I
Yeah,
would agree with. He's definitely the most evil of all the villains.
yeah. And then Cell is just like this lab experiment, and like Boo, it's just like this goofball. Like of the three villains, like Frieza's definitely the most interesting, but like the villains really never did much for me. So that's why I guess I just say Vegeta. So what's your favorite Super Saiyan form?
Um, uh, God Super Saiyan, obviously,
Okay.
because you got
Uh,
blue hair.
I would just go with original Super Saiyan because it was a unique idea at the time and uh, such a crazy power boost for Goku then.
Yeah. My
I'm gonna
favorite.
change my answer, but go ahead, Michael.
Oh, I was gonna say my favorites from GT is Super Saiyan 4.
Oh, I hated that one
I love
so
it.
much.
I love it because Super Saiyan 3, it kind of like played towards it because you know how like Goku's forehead gets all like primate like.
He's like de-evolving.
Yeah, so like Super Saiyan 4 is like even more of a de-evolve into an ape.
I hate it so much. Like they just have like a fucking fur shirt on, a monkey tail. It's just I don't like it.
I love it. Their eyes get so cool looking.
One thing I did think was cool about GT, and this ties into that, is how they made the great ape form relevant
Relevant.
again with the
Yeah.
with the soup with the golden great ape. That was
Yeah.
cool.
Anyway, my favorite form actually is probably Super Saiyan 2, just because it was like Gohan was the
Yeah.
one that like first got it,
Yeah,
and
it was
it's
mind
what led.
blowing when Gohan did it, man.
Yeah, and then because again, it was the rage. It was the rage. Like every time a new like Super Saiyan form is made, it's rage.
Yep.
And it's hinted too in Dragon Ball Super that that's how you unlock Super Saiyan. Like you just get real fucking angry. Like imagine your family dying or something. Just get real fucking angry, and that's whenever you
The
can unlock Super Saiyan.
the only thing I didn't like about two is how it basically looks the same as one. They just have lightning around them.
Yeah, fucking lightning though, Eric.
It's cool,
How
yeah.
is lightning not
It's
cool?
it's I'm not saying it's not cool, but it's just like they could have done more to make it seem like a different form.
I guess.
Yeah.
Do you guys? Oh, never mind. I was gonna ask like, is it weird that Gohan never goes to Super Saiyan 3? I mean, he's got Mystic form, but like, I would like to see
Well,
Gohan
it's
in Super Saiyan 3.
like Vegeta never went 3 on his own. The only one that went 3 on his own was Goku and then like
And Goten.
Yeah,
Gotenks.
that's true.
But
Yeah.
that's because of like their fusion.
Yeah, I guess Goku was in a way the most, well, I'm not in a way, is the most adept at unlocking those forms.
Yeah. That's because
Yeah.
Goku's the main character, man. He's the Rock. Like they have to.
Yeah, I mean, he unlocked the original Super Saiyan, so
Yeah.
it's got to be him that unlocks every other form, or I guess other than two. 'Cause, I mean,
So
even at the Beerus video, he gets God form because five Saiyans give him energy.
and then God becomes base, and then you go Super Saiyan God. That's so weird.
Yeah.
Talking about that though, what is Dragon Ball Z your favorite of the four
What four are we talking
sagas or the
about?
four shows? Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball, I guess Kai, GT, and Super. So the five.
Well, that's five,
Yeah,
but yeah.
I forgot about
What
Kai.
even? What was Dragon Ball Kai even?
Kai was a redoing of Z that they just took out all the filler.
Interesting. So that one's automatically better than Z because it has no
It
filler.
kinda isn't.
All right,
Like I
I
was
haven't seen it,
watching it
so
and it's good, but it kind of just doesn't have like the same like
Also,
magic to it.
I don't want to sound like a psychopath, but Japanese TV standards have changed since the 80s and 90s, and as a result, Kai was significantly less violent than Z because they couldn't get away with that shit anymore.
Yeah.
really, because like I've been watching Dragon Ball. I'm actually caught up on Dragon Ball Super, and I've enjoyed the shit out of it. Maybe it's nostalgia. I don't know, but it's really fucking good. Like it mainly focuses on Goku and Vegeta and the God of Destruction Beerus, but
I don't
it's really
like
good.
I don't like how Beerus is just hammed in as like a main character. Like I like that they made like Roshi and Tien and 18 and all of them like relevant again, but like
Only in the
Beerus
most
is like
current episodes.
they're like Beerus is a main character and he's like always there and I just like who's Beerus?
So, are you saying, Garrett, though, that you put Super as the best series ahead of
I
Z?
think I would. It might just be because of it's the most recent one I've watched. But yeah, I would say Super is my favorite so far, and I haven't watched Kai, so throwing that out there too. Disclaimer.
Well, I haven't watched. I'm not caught up with Super. I've seen about 10 to a dozen episodes. Uh, and Kai, I haven't watched all of it. I've seen a few episodes here and there, but of everything that I have seen, I can safely say my favorite is the original Dragon Ball. Uh, I mean, I talked about this in the anime episode. I just feel there's more to it. There's more of an adventure aspect as well as fighting. There's more of a comedy aspect. More of the characters are relevant. It's not just the Goku and Vegeta show. Well, I mean, Vegeta wasn't in it, but it's not just the Goku show. Um, so yeah, I would put the original as my favorite.
See, I say Z. I really do like Super and I really do like Dragon Ball. Like I haven't watched all of Super, but I've been keeping up with it by like reading stuff and like watching like videos and stuff. And I like what they're doing with this show. I just don't really I just feel like I don't have the time to like watch anime. Like I'm so behind on One Piece and stuff. But
Well, just give up on One Piece, Mike. You've been in it for like
I've been
15
well,
years
I've
now.
been
Just give
watching.
up.
I need to get caught back up. But anyways, I just give it to Z, man. Like Z is just so good. Uh,
Whatever. He's garbage. Worst anime in the world. Worse
worst
than
anime in
Sailor
the world.
Moon and the worst anime you could ever think of.
I don't even know.
I said it.
Fuck, I've
What's
watched
your
so many shitty anime. I went through
I
a
just wanna
phase once where like I wanted to find like a new show that I wanted to watch, and I would watch like the first two episodes like of I watched first two episodes of so many anime, and like so many of them were so bad. I couldn't even remember. Like I think one was called like Gilgamesh. That's the only one I remember because it has a sweet name, and I just was like, this is kind of fucking garbage. Like maybe I didn't give it a good enough try, but like you should be hooked by the second episode. I feel.
no, you shouldn't. Anyway, I wanna hit one more thing, Eric. I know what you want to do, but one more
Hmm.
thing. Your least favorite villain. Your least favorite. The one you were just fucking disgusted by. I'll start off. Mine was Captain Ginyu. I could not fucking stand
Yeah, he's
him.
fucking annoying.
His posing and
Jesus.
stuff.
Yeah.
The fact that he stole Goku's body.
Oh, I hate
Oh
that
my god,
shit.
dude, that gave me fucking anxiety whenever he
Yeah.
stole Goku's body. I was like, what the fuck are they gonna do now?
As a
Like, there's nothing.
as a kid, when people in shows got like their body taken away or their powers taken away, I would yeah I'd always get anxiety because I'd be like, what if they never get it back? Like,
Yeah,
what
and
if
I'm
they're
like,
like that
that's just so.
forever?
I also thought like that's just so unfair. Like
Yeah.
you're a fucking piece of shit if you don't want to have to like work for that yourself. Oh god, Captain Ginyu
But you didn't
pissed
like
me off.
the Ginyu Force and their little fucking Power
I thought
Rangers Sailor Moon poses.
I thought the Ginyu Force was hilarious. I could not
Mm.
fucking stand Captain Ginyu though. But anyway, your least favorite villain, Eric, the one you hated the most.
Oh God. That's a really good question because honestly, I've never really thought about that. Fuck me, and now I'm on the spot.
I mean,
Oh,
Uh,
we could go on to Michael.
I would give it to Boo. I just think he's
really?
the least interesting villain.
But he's got so many different forms. Like, is there any form in specific that you didn't like, or just him
Fat
in
Boo's
general?
annoying. Old Boo's is kind of cool. Kid Boo's meh. Super Boo's pretty cool.
You know, I didn't realize, but Boo does the exact same thing Ginyu does. But I just have a burning hatred for Ginyu. I don't have that same hatred I
Yeah,
have
no,
for Boo.
Ginyu's fucking annoying. Just,
Well, there's nobody who's jumping out at me as really somebody that I hate, but I will say probably if I had to pick a least favorite, it would actually probably be Cell. And I don't hate him. I just think he's the least interesting of
yeah,
any villain. Like he doesn't really have much of a personality.
yeah.
He's a robot, or not a robot, an android.
Yeah, I get that, but
Is he an android?
I don't.
I thought he was like
Well,
something
Well,
else.
he's
a
like a
biological
yeah,
android, I
he's
Yeah.
like
guess.
a biologically created life form,
Because
or
he's like Goku,
scientifically.
Vegeta, Piccolo, and whoever.
Yeah, he was lab meat. All right,
Yeah.
he grew up from lab meat.
Yeah, I just feel there could have been more. It was, he's striving to get his perfect form. Okay, I understand that. He wants to be like at his ultimate form. And he's just like, okay, we're going to do this tournament. And if you lose, I'm going to blow up the earth just because.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just didn't find
Yeah,
him all that interesting.
I thought that was really boring too, because like Dragon Ball just always he like a Toriyama just always goes back to tournaments.
Well, the
You
tournaments in
guys,
Dragon Ball were amazing, though.
Yeah, I know, but like every story arc.
so can we like separate the Cell Saga from the Android Saga? Because I'll
They
agree
are
with you on
kind of
most parts about the Cell Saga, but the Android Saga was like my favorite.
Yeah.
they are kind
I
of
said,
sometimes counted as two different things, and they in a way they kind of are.
yeah, because I agree with you on most counts about the Cell Saga, but again, like the androids fucking everyone up, Goku dying of a heart attack, and because he ate too much fucking meat because he's a goddamn blockhead
Glutton.
pig. But
So we
No,
got
he caught some kind of space virus. He had like space grids or something.
space
I
Space
can't
AIDS,
believe I'm
AIDS.
making that kind of
space
reference.
AIDS.
But we all pretty much
Uh,
said the same thing, but you said
yeah.
the old one. Right?
I
Grids
said the
Grids was
outdated offensive term.
yeah. So yeah, we got some time, so
I'm joking around, by the way.
let's
No, he's not.
let's touch on the movies of Dragon Ball Z. Um, what?
15 in total.
Yeah, that's a lot of movies. It was a long
That is quite
running
a bit.
series, but like, it's a lot of movies. Um,
Yeah.
Eric, just name off the villains of each movie.
Okay, in order, we've got Garlic Jr., Dr. Willow, Turles, Lord, fuck,
Slug.
I'm blanking. Lord
Slug.
Slug, Cooler, Metal Cooler, Android 13, Brawly, Bojack, Brawly again,
BoJack
Bio
Horseman.
Brawly,
BoJack Horseman.
Yeah.
Brawly again, Bio Brawly, Janimba, Haruti Garn,
That's it.
Bills, and then Golden Frieza.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
Well, Bills is Beerus, right?
Bills, Beerus, yeah.
Why did they like? Cause like in the movie they call him Bills, but in like Super they call him Beerus, right?
I don't know.
I guess it's just translation issues.
Maybe.
His name is supposed to be like Toriyama always gives people like parody names, so it's basically like him and Whis, it's beer and whiskey.
Oh, that's funny. I never noted. I never knew that. It's actually
So
funny.
what was your favorite movie, Garrett?
Oh, me?
Yeah,
Oh
you
God.
always go
Well, say
first.
favorite anything that stands out to you, like favorites, least favorites.
So I did like Battle of the Gods with Beerus, but I liked Brawly. Brawly was really cool because again, you get to see Vegeta like just shitting his pants
Yeah, Vegeta's
because
a
he
little
doesn't know what the
bitch.
fuck to
Piccolo
do.
grabs him by the hair and drags him over
I mean, just I mean Brawly, man. Like no one can fuck with Brawly. Got thrown into a fucking sun
and
and he comes
lived.
back. And then I don't know what happens in Brawly 2, but apparently he becomes a Bio Brawly.
Gohan
No,
I don't
and
know.
there's three Brawly movies, but
Gohan
Well,
and
yeah,
yeah,
like
but there's
Goten and beat him up or
Brawly,
something.
the first Brawly he gets thrown to the sun, right?
yes.
Yep.
Second Brawly, what happens to him?
I,
He
you know
he
what? I don't remember
he lands on
because
Earth and like Gohan and like Trunks and Goten beat him up, and then Bio Brawly is like literally just Goten and Trunks, I think.
and Android 18,
Yeah.
All
which is
right,
cool.
well,
I like that they brought her into
so
that movie.
I would say I haven't watched the other two, but I like Brawly quite a bit just because it's like this like Super Saiyan that's better than Goku. Like what the fuck? How's
Yeah.
that possible? And also Battle of the Gods because of course that's where you get the God form, Super Saiyan God.
Yeah. Eric.
All right.
Okay. For me, I really like movie 9, the BoJack movie. Uh,
Yeah, it's really fucking
lot,
good.
yeah, a lot of good fights in that movie. They do like a tournament in the beginning of that movie, and Tien versus Future Trunks is a surprisingly good fight. I
Till
also
he
really
goes
like,
Super Saiyan and one shots him.
well, yeah, but I mean, when he's base, they're having a good fight.
Yeah.
Um, Two of the earlier movies, Doctor Willow and Tree of Might, are both really good. Just really great fight scenes in both of those movies. Least favorite is definitely the second Brawly movie. Everybody shits on Bio Brawly, but at least they did something unique, and also you got to see Android 18 fighting, which is pretty rare in Z. Whereas the second Brawly movie, when he returns to Earth, is just so fucking boring.
Yeah.
Like I can barely even remember what happens in that movie. It's just like Brawly shows up, Gohan, Goten, and Trunks fight him, and he dies. It's just boring and shit.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen Resurrection F, the Golden Frieza one?
No, that's the only
Yes.
one I haven't seen.
I liked it. I liked it, and I liked Battle of Gods too. Both of the new movies were good.
I need to watch it. Maybe I'll watch it tonight.
Yeah, I was thinking of that too. I
Um,
mean, it's just gonna spoil Dragon Ball Super, I feel, because right now I'm gonna spoil it for you guys. And if you're listening, spoiler alert. But in Dragon Ball Super right now, they're doing their multi-universal tournament. Of course, everything always leads back to a tournament.
yep.
Yeah.
And Goku recruited Frieza, but he only left. He used Roshi's sister, fucking
The
witch.
witch.
Oh,
Yeah,
Baba. Yeah.
Baba. Yeah, to only resurrect him for 24 hours so he could take place in tournament. But Frieza said, "All right, but if I win, I'm using the Dragon Balls to resurrect myself." So I'm assuming,
Which is a
Ah.
plot
yeah,
hole because he's been dead for more than a year. But anyways.
yeah. Well, anyway,
Well, these
I'm
are like the
assuming,
Galaxy Dragon Balls. They're
yeah, these are like
stronger.
these are like the ones gathered across Galaxy 6 and 7. So they're like the size of planets. He says he's going to use those to resurrect himself. So I'm assuming that Dragon Ball Z Resurrection is just what happens after the tournament, or what's going to happen after the tournament in Super.
I don't know.
So I mean, because Battle of the Gods wasn't super similar
What happened in
to,
the show?
yeah, but basically the same shit happened at the end.
So, um, ones I didn't like. I don't really like the Tree of Might because it's just like, oh, it's a Saiyan that looks like Goku.
That was kind of weird. It had good fight scenes though.
I didn't like Slug, like the Namek.
Yeah.
The Doctor
That
Willow
was
one's really good. What was the first one again?
Garlic Jr.
That one's okay. Um, I like a lot of the earlier ones because they seem more like Dragon Ball, and I really like the animation on them. Because
Yeah, the early ones had like
it's not like the
gorgeous animation.
fast teleporting movement fighting. It's like actual fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
with the ones where it's just like they show you a picture of a sky and then like just blink,
yeah,
blink.
Yeah, like
yeah,
lines colliding with each other.
yeah. Like they're
Yeah.
actually like dodging shit and stuff. Like there's that one movie where like Goku's fighting that like demon thing on ice, and he's like doing
Yeah.
backflips and shit.
The second movie, yeah.
Yeah, so those are really cool. But my favorite one is the one with Janimba, movie 11.
12. And yeah, that is cool when all the villains escape from hell. That
Yeah,
that
all
is
the
pretty
villains
awesome.
escape from hell. You have
And
Gotenks
and Hit
fighting
and Hitler
Hitler.
and Hitler comes back from
Yeah,
hell.
you have Gotenks
Oh,
fighting
that's
Hitler and his
that one.
army.
Okay.
You have like there's that really cool guy that green dude that's fighting Goku at the beginning.
Pickon.
Yeah, Pecan or whatever. He's really cool. And then yeah, you just see like all the characters like killing like Cell and Frieza and shit, and that's awesome. And then like the fight between Gogeta and Janimba is fucking sick. Like Janimba has such a cool power. He's got that awesome sword and like the teleporting stuff.
That is a really good one. And back in the day when we were buying those bootleg tapes, that was the first one we ever bought was movie 12.
Yeah, it's really good. It's my favorite one.
I love. That's the reason I love Trunks. He has a fucking sword, man. He's got a fucking sword.
Yeah, I've
Future
been thinking
Trunks.
about it, and like, yeah, my favorite characters, Gogeta and Future Trunks.
Two
I
You
really
know,
characters
like
you
Future
rarely see.
Trunks.
you know what you brought up an interesting point though is not a lot of characters in the Dragon Ball universe use weapons. You had Goku with his power pole when he was a kid, and you had Future Trunks with his sword. Other than that, you've got like Yajirobe uses a sword, and Yamcha used a sword when he was first
Like
introduced. But other than
very
that,
early.
nobody. Yeah, other than that, nobody really uses weapons. It's
Yeah,
all energy and martial arts.
yeah.
They should use more weapons because in Super, Trunks. So Goku Black and the other bitch. Can't remember his name right now. But anyway, Trunks fights them, and the other bitch, not Goku Black. Well, maybe it is Goku Black. Anyway, they use a sword, but it's made out of energy.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So like Trunks uses his sword, and the other guy uses his sword made out of energy. And eventually Trunks gets like this. His sword breaks, and he's like, "What can I do? Like my sword was all my hope, and now it's broken. No."
He
So
goes
then
like
he like,
legendary Super Saiyan, doesn't
yeah, he
he?
goes legend. Yeah, he goes fucking amazing.
He has that. It's so
And then he
awesome
like
because he has
he
that's the
puts
Brawly transformation.
yeah, and then he like puts the energy into his broken sword and like reforges it with energy and just fucks them all up.
See, it's
You guys
weird.
should watch Super. It's a good show.
Yeah, I really want to watch it. It's weird because okay, so that sword, the origin of that sword is movie
Wasn't that the one
13.
that Gohan pulled from the
Yes.
block that wasn't supposed to ever break? Like
Um,
whenever
No,
he's training
so
with the
like there,
Kais?
so the main villain is what's its name, Eric?
Harudigarn.
Yeah, Harudigarn, and so like there's like this guy trying to summon Harudigarn, and then some guy gives Goku,
Tapion.
yeah, that sword.
He gives Trunks that sword. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, Trunks ends up, but anyways, they're like, this is the sword that's going to kill Harudigarn, and it's the only thing that can kill him, and then that doesn't happen because Goku kills it with like the Dragon Fist, but
Yeah.
yeah, so like Trunks ends up with this like sword to kill this one random demon thing, and that's its backstory.
Yeah, that was kind of cool that they gave it a backstory in the movie like that.
Yeah. Um.
That's neat.
Yeah, I don't remember that movie as well as I thought I did. I want to see it again because I really like how that demon thing looks cool, and it's awesome how Goku kills it.
Yeah.
The demon's called Harudigarn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This looks like a demon beetle.
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow.
My one problem with Dragon Ball Z and just that universe in general, that series, is that everything is like really samey, and like Dragon Ball didn't really have that, but everything after, like, it's
Yeah.
just like,
Well, that's why I like Dragon Ball better.
yeah, it's just like two dudes fighting. Like, you have other shows like Naruto and One Piece where everyone's fighting style is so completely different. Where Dragon Ball Z, it kind of just, it's still great, don't get me wrong, but it's just punching and energy blasts.
But that's what we grew up
Yeah.
on.
Yeah,
I think
no.
I feel
Yeah,
like
no,
if
I
you
mean
would
it's a
if
valid criticism, but it does work for the show.
Yeah.
I feel
I'll
like
say
if
that.
this was a new anime, people wouldn't be as interested in it. Like, especially like you said, there's Naruto, there's like Hunter x Hunter, like where all the characters have absolutely different fighting styles.
Yeah.
Every single person fights a different way. Whenever in
Yeah.
Dragon Ball, everyone punches each other. I mean, sure, they've got a couple of different abilities that they use, but mostly it's just
Well,
punching.
when it comes down to it, the Kamehameha and the Big Bang, it's the same thing.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the Kamehameha, Mike. It's the one that you would use as a teenager to like use it ironically to get a
Yeah.
joke out of your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you brought that up, so I got to tell this real quick. In my philosophy class in grade 12, the topic of ghosts somehow came up. And this girl in the class started talking very seriously about how she was sleeping in a haunted house and she woke up and saw a ball of energy like leave her body and float away.
Yeah.
And everybody was kind of quiet because it was like really awkward. And I
Yeah.
could tell a lot of people were trying not to laugh because she was taking it really seriously. And my buddy goes, "Hey, Eric, Eric." And I look over at him and he mimes doing a Kamehameha and I just fucking lost it.
That's so good. Well, I think that's a good.
That's the show,
That's
folks.
that's it. I'm gonna span the air horn a couple more times.
Beep beep.
Beep beep. Okay. Good night.
See you
Good
next time.
night.
We love you.